Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again. Um, I hope you enjoyed the first edition of Introduction to Forex Trading Part 1. Here, I want to discuss with you on how we obtain the data, the information we obtain in the course of the data, and how we are able to use that information effectively to help us to have an idea of what actions the market is taking. So remember in the first episode, I told you the basic concept we need is what is the price of the market? Is the price high or is the price low? If the price is high, what do we want to do? If the price is low, what do we want to do? So those are the basic information that helps us to be able to take effective action in the market. So when you know that this price is high, will you want to be a buyer or will you want to be a seller? When you know the price is low, do you think you want to be a buyer or you want to be a seller? Those two information, those two categories will help you as a trader in making the right decision at the right time. So let me share my screen with you and take you through the steps of getting the data of the products or whatever market we are researching or we are dealing with. But one thing I want to enjoin you is that to be a forex trader, you need to be available. You need to have the time to be able to learn some basics, and which is one of the things that throw a lot of people, because people always are looking for the fast way to make money. In trading, you only make the money when you know what you're doing. So if you don't know what you're doing, believe you me, you cannot make anything. So for you to be a professional and profitable trader, you need to know what you're doing. And this is are the things, the basic information and data that you need. Whatever, apart from the fact of whatever news that is, that may cause an uproar in the market and cause volatility, if you know these basic concepts, it's going to help a lot in profiting in the trading market. So let me show you on So let me show you with you the screen as promised earlier. So this is my data, and like I told you, every day in the market, every day, every minute, every hour, there's always a change in market pattern. There's always a change in market pattern. So how do I know this? So for you to know a change in the pattern of the market, let me show you an insight into an example of the actual market. So as you can see here, this is an example of a product, a day, our time frame, a daily, a trading account. So here, this you see different time frames. You see M1, M5, M is M minutes, H is hours, D is day, W is week, and MN is months. So this has been done as daily basis. So every stick you see here is for 1 day each. So you can see every, and as can be seen, every day has its own high and low. For example, now look at the current date. This is the lowest point here for this product. This is GBP USD. You can see this is the name here, GBP USD daily. So if it's H4, it's going to change to GBP USD H4. So I'm using daily to make it more easier. So on the daily aspect as well, we are always going to be having the lowest and the highest prices for every day. So every day we'll be taking those prices. So we need to take those prices on daily basis. So as we take those prices, we are able to use those data effectively for our decision. So every day, for each day, we take the high and the low, we take the high and the low, we take the high and the low at the end of the day. So that is the basic information that we need to do on daily basis. So if you really want to follow me on this journey on trading, then that is the basic of the information that we're going to work on. So every day you get the data effectively, and from there you now begin to manipulate data to get the result of what we want. So after knowing, so what the first thing to know is you need to know how to get the data, the prices. So at this, you see to the right side, you can see the price there. That's the price of the highest for this day and the price for the lowest for this day. So every day you record the high and the low prices accordingly. So this is an example of the data that we have been able to pick. So this is, as you can see here, high and the low for each of these products. So on daily basis, like I said, we have the high price and the low price. So this is where we need as much possible as information that we need. So now I want you to follow me as I manipulate this data for the first till day 5. So let's assume we are about to start on this. So this is the beginning of the period. Today is day 1, and I have my high and low for day 1. So what next am I going to do? What I need to do next is to get the data for the next day, which is day 2. Or you can call it day 1 because this is day 0. So the next thing for me is to get the next day data. So when I get the next day data, I will now compare each one of them to each other to be able to know what next action I need to take. So I'm going to copy the next data here. So you see here, I now have 2 datas each for both high and low. So what I now want to do is to compare each one to each other. I compare the new one to the previous one, and that is the way it's going to be continually. So every new one to the last previous one. So for the first 2 days, we can have different concepts to the first 2 days, but after the first 2 days, then we move on with just one concept. So what is the concept for the first 2 days? The first 2 days is that we want to identify the highest and the lowest, or we want to identify a trend from another trend. So what do you mean by highest or lowest? We want to see the new current date high is higher than the previous day, and the new current day low is lower than the previous day. So if one of them should um should be higher, if one of them should be more than the other, then we can follow that concept. But if both of them does not fall to the pattern, then we might have to alternate to one end to the other. So you can see here, for example, our high here on the one is 78.41, our high here is 78.65. So 78.65 is higher than 78.41. So we can automatically pick this here. So the reason why we're picking this here is because we are expecting that probably this one will be lower. So let's check. You can see this one here, we have 77.83, and here we have 77.49. So which means this one is lower. So in this instance, we can decide now to do what? We can decide to forget about one and use these two data as our highest and our lowest. That is one condition. Another condition is this. Because we have chosen I for the first day, automatically our second day, since this one is lower, our second day can be a low, because our I is not higher than the previous day. So automatically it reverts to low. The third option is that if we decide to choose low on day one, then automatically on day zero rather, automatically our day one will go for the alternative position, which is the high. So any one of them is fine. So far we follow the trend. But after these first 2 days, then we follow the next trend. So let's take, for example, crude oil as well. You can see crude oil as well, the same thing. The day zero is higher than day one, which is the high side. So because, and the two to the one, the zero is higher than day one. So because I chose high here, automatically I'm going to choose low for the next day. Another sample is, let's take Euro USD. So Euro USD, look at here, we have 1.2257, which is higher than 1.2236. So we choose high here, and this is 1.215, which is higher than 1.2125. So that means our day one will be low. So you can see those three situations, how different they are. So that is what we need to start up from. So from here now, our next point will now always consider the last colored position of every move. So let's go back now and copy our day two data. So day two data, remember, we are taking each day by day. So at this day two, we don't know what is going to happen, what has happened in day 3 to day 12. So we don't know what has happened. So we are just assuming that this is what we are saying, and this what we are saying is just happening now. Are you getting me? So here again, we paste. So we compare, we are on I, so we are going to compare I to I. So our day two is 78.6. Is it higher than 78.41? Yes. So we color it because it's high. If not, we revert to the low. So look at crude oil, our day two low. Is it lower than day one low? Yes. So we color it. For Euro USD, our day two high, is it higher than the two than the one high? No. So because it's not higher, then we color the low. So is if the condition does not meet up, then we go for the alternative position. So that's it. So let's copy for day 3. So for day 3 again, we do the same thing, we paste. So here, what is our I? We are still on I for AUD JPY. Our I is 78.85. Is it higher than 78.6? Yes. The color. Our crude oil, we have 47.99. Is it lower than 46.1? No. So because it's not lower, we alternate. We color the I. For Euro USD, we are on the low. Our next data is 1.2177. Is it lower than 1.215? No. So we color the I. So we go again the next day. We copy and we paste again. So we move up. 78.9. Is it higher than 78.85? Yes. So we are still going on a high trend. Crude oil, we have 49. Is it higher than 48.8? Yes. Color it. Euro USD 1.2251. Is it higher than 1.2216? Yes. Color it. So day 5, we're going to stop at day 5 for this season. So we copy day 5, we come here again, we paste, we check the results. Our I, is it higher than the previous day? 79, 74, yes. So we color it. Our I, is it higher than 49? No. Then we revert to the low. For Euro USD, our I, 1.2272. Is it higher than our I? Yes. So we color it. So that's how we are going to do continually until the end of the period. But on daily basis, we're able to have an idea of the direction. So having done this, what next can we do? Now, the next step will now be to identify the extreme point of each movement. The extreme point of each movement. So how do we do that? So for example, now, we will always copy our first data with the column. So for that one here, we have here. So what happens is that for every one that is in yellow, after every yellow at the low, the next yellow we want to see will be on the high. After the high, the next yellow will be on the low. So it's always the first point. So because this one is 77.4, now we come to the next line, we copy that same figure, 77.49, and we expect the next high movement. So from the candle, you can see our next high movement is this, because all these are on yellow. So this is the last one. So we copy this and paste here, and we wait for, and we put that as the next move here. So we now have high. So the next one is going to be, we expect a low. So if this one continues as high, then this figure is going to change. Remember. So let's look at the next one again. We copy the first day. That's for crude oil. For crude oil here. So 46.6, 48.6. So we put it here, 48.6. The next figure we expect is a low. So what low do we have? We have two lows, but this is the lowest one. So we copy this and put it in this column. You see, we copy again 46.1. We expect an high figure. So we have two figures, but this is the highest. We copy and move here. And we pick up again. The next figure is a low, which is this, and we copy again. We go on like that, like that. For Euro USD, let's see. For Euro USD, just like the same way our day one, we copy, we paste, So next one, we expect an I. We copy, we paste. Next one, we expect a low. We copy, we paste. Next one, we expect a high, which is this. We copy and we paste. So you can see low, high, low, high, high, low, except these that only have one move, which is low and high. So that is this next phase. Now, after this has been done, then we now simplify this to one trend so that I can be able to show you the graph. So what I now do is this, I'm going to copy this, but now on the next line, I'm not going to consider high or low again. So what I'm going to consider is just the name of each product. So I'm going to consider only the name of each product. So let me copy this again to the next line. So I don't need the high and the low again. All I need is just the direction. Do you get me? So what do I do? All the yellow lines I copy. So the first one is that. I move there, I paste here. What's the next one? 79. I copy. I move here, I paste. So what's the next one? Crude oil. I hope you understand what I'm doing. Next one, 49. I copy. I paste. The last one, I copy and I paste. The next one is Euro USD, which is the last one. Same thing, all the colored ones. So you can see, like I said, high, low, high, low, high. It will always go like that. So Euro USD, low, high, low, and high. So we have 4 positions already made in Euro USD. We have 4 positions already made in crude oil, and we have 2 positions in AUD Japan yen. So what is our next line of action? This will now be able to help us to have an idea of the direction of the market. How will it help us? Let's draw this. Let's take this now into a graph. So I'm going to show you how it gives us an idea. So you can see here, for this one, it only shows that, you see, the market is starting from the low and it moved high. This is the current update for now. So it's just one movement, 1 week traffic, you know. So just 1 week traffic. So let me just do that's AUD Japan yen. So the next one is crude oil. Let's see the graph of crude oil. So you can see crude oil, it started from 48.6, came down to 46.1, went up again. You can see the new up 49 is higher than 48.6. And our new low 47.7 is higher than 46.1. So which means this one now might likely be moving towards the high side. You see, so the crude oil is moving towards yes because our low is not up to the is not below the previous low. So which means this is our current lowest, and the high will likely be increasing in the course of the month. And finally, let me do the last one as well, which is Euro USD. Same thing again. I light them, insert, and draw the graph. So same thing with Euro USD. The first was 1.2125. The high was 1.2257. The next low is 1.215, which is higher than our 1.2125. So which means this is still the lowest. And our next high is 1.2272, which is higher than our 1.2257. So you can see too that that one too as well is an high trend. So you can see with just these few datas, able to have an idea of what action, what direction the market is going. So based on this, it will now continue to affect us. So the idea is for every move of this market within this period, we should be able to take an action to give us the best results and the best profit from the market. So this is the basics of Forex trading, the basic foundation of information, the basic foundation of data that we need to be able to make accurate and precise decisions. I hope you understand all that I've been able to explain in this short video. For more inquiries, you can always contact me on fadinvest@yahoo.ie, fadinvest@yahoo.ie. My name is Oluwase Fadre. You can always reach me, and please comment as well if you have any inquiries. Like I told you earlier, the idea of this is to gather as many people to be able to have who have passion and interest in making a source of living from forex trading. So together as a team, I can be able to easily train us. We have examples, we have data available, and we have the templates to be able to work on. So when you connect with me, and I'm sure you're serious, you you'll be able to, I can be able to show you other samples and give you assignments to be able to do. And once you prove yourself, you can now be able to confidently build up your own confidence as well, and also begin to trade on live accounts. So all I need from you is your time, your dedication, your availability, and your experience, so that together we'll be able to form a formidable team, and together we'll be able to make a source of living, and together we'll be able to make touch the lives of other people around us. Thank you very much. I remain yours again, Uluwase Fadari. Catch you and meet you again in the next video training. Cheers. Bye.